Hi everyone, I'm Peggy Rometo and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so for you astrology fans, I'm sure you're aware that there is a total lunar eclipse tonight that can be seen from North America, South America, and even parts of Europe. And it's a really special, it's a super blood wolf moon. What that means is it gets the super moon because it's the biggest point in which the moon, or closest point I should say, to the earth, and it goes deep into the shadow, so the reflection back comes from our sunrises or sunsets, which creates this red kind of cast on the moon, which gives it the blood term. And then the wolf comes from the first moon in January, always is from Native American cultures, calls it the wolf moon. So that's where we get super blood wolf moon, right? And total lunar eclipse. So anyway, it's a mouthful, but you can go online and read about it. But the important point is it doesn't happen very often, and we can actually see it here. So that means in the US, in California, we can see it shortly before 9 o'clock tonight, and in New York, obviously, then a few minutes before midnight. And it lasts for about 60 minutes. So I encourage you to do that. And, when you're doing that, notice if you can feel the energy of it. Notice if you can feel the vibrancy of it, because this is something that it's like a disruptor. It creates big movements, like sudden and fast. So unexpected things can happen. Things that were no can turn yes, and vice versa. It's really our job to learn how to ride the waves this week, right? So much like an expert skier going down the slopes, riding those moguls, you look ahead, right? And your knees bounce. Or if you're a surfer, you ride those waves. You're not looking straight down, right? So for this week, you don't want to keep your nose, details and things like that may get tripped up. You want to look further out, right? And just kind of ride what's happening now. So what I mean by that is if you're in the middle of a negotiation and it's starting to blow up, keep your intent on the end result, right? And don't get caught up that it's not working today. Massage today, do whatever you need to do, because a lot of people will be really emotional. With the moon, it's all about emotion. So just be aware that, there's going to be this eruption, or can be, it has the potential to have people be overreacting. So our job is to ride their waves, right? Ride the energy. Don't get caught up in it. Don't try and justify, defend, answer, be even keeled. Stay focused on the big picture. Stay out of the details, because they're likely to trip you up, or likely to become a point of contention that blows up a whole deal, instead of focusing on the bigger picture. So do your best not to get caught up on those details. Massage them, work with them, but stay committed to the larger focus. And if you can help the people around you stay committed to the larger focus, then this week can be a great week. It can be a really big week filled with opportunity and motivation and huge success. But we just want to be caught that we're, don't look down at the mogul, right? You'll end up tumbling down the mountain. So be cautious of the details that can get you sucked in and pissed off, and then suddenly you're blowing up a deal because of one little detail. And that can happen, and maybe some of you have seen it happening in your relationships, with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers, with your boss. All of a sudden they're, up in arms about some little small minor detail that, for the last 6 months hasn't been a problem, and now all of a sudden they want to fire you over it, right? So it's that sudden eruption. So the things, your past can catch up with you this week. So be careful, be mindful. If you're the one who's creating the problem, correct it, right? Take responsibility, acknowledge it, so things can go smoothly, and then actually be committed to that change, because this is the type of energy that can really help us change. It can be a great motivator. And now sometimes it's too late, right? Sometimes we do get booted. Sometimes the door closes. Sometimes a no is irrevocable. If that happens to you this week, just embrace it and move on, right? Move on with grace, look and see what I've done wrong, and correct it, and see always another door opens, and look for that light, look for the door that's opened, right? And it's the same if we're the one who are having to bring the hammer down. You want to be able to make sure that you're not being overreactive, that you're absolutely can see the vision and see that this is no longer part of your vision, right? So you just want to make sure that you're not being overreactive. And the way that you can do that is you can also, slow it down a little bit and just notice, right? Don't make the decision today. Say by the end of the week or next week, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on it. just take a time or take a beat, as they say, with your responses so that it's really coming from a place of creation instead of reaction. Okay, so let's see what else is in store for us this week. That's a lot of energy. My heart's like going so fast because this energy is really, it's fast paced, right? So I don't know if you guys can feel that, but just slow down and let go. And let's see what else is in store for us. So there is a temptation to move fast and to move ahead. And sometimes some of us may even feel stuck and where we want to be someplace and we're not, we're being held back or bound back by the details. So if that's going on, the best thing you can do is one, ask for help, ask for support. Be where you are, right? Be present to where you are. But if you do have to work with a lot of details this week, make sure that you double and triple check them, right? Or have people help you or look that over for you, especially if it's an important email, an important document that you have to sign. Make sure you have a couple more eyes looking at it and really say, hey, really look at this, right? Because these are the times when those little details, mistakes can be made that can, cost us a lot in the end. So make sure that you're double and triple checking those details this week. Okay, so let's see what else is in store for us. Now, for some of us, you really have an opportunity to be heard, that your voice can kind of like cut through or slice through chaos. So you want to be that voice. You want to be the voice of reason. You want to be the voice that people listen to, right? And to do that, we have to be calm. We have to be centered. We have to be grounded in the midst of the chaos, right? So that means to do that, we have to be the observer. We have to stop. And when we notice these eruptions happening around us, and sometimes it's good, right? Sometimes you all of a sudden you got the big deal. Your company got, the go ahead or the green light or whatever. You get the big phone call. And now it's like, oh my gosh, we have to do all these things, this planning. You have to slow down and make your lists, make your ideas, look and see what you want to go. And when you slow down, you have the ability then to be able to be that voice that crystallizes and kind of quiets that chaos and brings everything together. So you want to you yourself need to stay centered and need to be grounded and need to be in alignment with just, with the vision, right? And staying out of this kind of like up and down trajectory. So we're going to cut through that with our vision and with our patience and with our clarity and just our ability to let people be wherever they're at, right? Watch them. One of the things that we can really support ourselves this week is just observing and watching others, and not from a point of view like, oh my God, did you see them lose it? Not in a judgmental way, because now we can get caught up in the same sort of energy, but only on the opposite end, observing them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a non-critical voice. I'm talking about in observing as a way to bring resolution, as a way to bring support. So the only way that, that really works is always having compassion or curiosity, right? At a minimum, be curious as to what's going on and just be that voice of reason that we'll get through this, right? I don't know how, but things will unfold and we'll get through this. So you want to be that steady person, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad things you're dealing with, you're going to get through it, right? So that's the focus. That's the projection of your heart of where you want to go. Is like, we're getting through this and we're getting through it with ease and grace. And when we focus that way, even when it's something great and amazing, it can be chaotic, right? And so it doesn't always have to be negative things that happen to us that are shocking and surprising. But the good things can be that way too. They can also bring chaos. So the idea this week is to ride the wave in a way that allows us to be successful and to be able to minimize the extra energy that goes out, right? Like, like a 2-year-old that's throwing a tantrum, or even when he's having fun, it's loud, it's crazy, and it's, exhilarating. But if you get caught up in that for so long, we're wiped out. They're running circles around us. So I don't want you to be in the energy. I want you to be able to allow that energy to kind of just flow through you and don't stop it, right? When we try and stop, we try and control, we try and, don't feel that way or don't be that way. No, let people be wherever they are. Just don't get caught up in it. Okay? Allow yourself just to observe and enjoy the process. Okay? This is one of those weeks we're really going to want to enjoy the process. And inside of that, creation can happen. Inside of that, new information come in, a new sense of support. You can have major breakthroughs. We can see things we've never seen before. New perspectives can happen. It's a really fabulous energy. So even if it is something that's maybe you initially hear as disappointment, just know that it is by divine order or intention that there is something new that's waiting to be opened up by you, right? So look for the light, look for it and go, wow, okay, so that happened. So now where's my attention go, right? How do I solve this problem? Or what's even a better way of looking at this? And asking yourself specific questions about the problem that focus on creating something new for yourself is a way to elicit the answer, okay? So just remember, if you get something that's not so great, create a wonderful, beautiful question that's going to pull the answer for you. All right. And even if you don't have it in the moment, you may hear it from somebody else or the universe may reflect it back to you. So asking specific questions is really going to help you as well this week. All right. So let's see if there's anything else for you about this week that you need to be aware of. Now, some of you are going to be such a magnet for success. I can't even tell you. By the end of the week, you may just feel like, okay, I can't handle it. My phone is ringing off the hook. I've got orders coming out my ears. People want me. It's such a good problem to have. So much energy is moving forward. So you know what? Be grateful. Move into the space of gratitude and acceptance and hire more people, right? If your business is going really well, share in the wealth, bring other people in that will support you. So just know there's always a solution to whatever's going on. But I just really see a lot of you guys getting so excited about the amount of energy that's coming at you, press, opportunity, business, people who believe in you, people who want to support you, people who want to buy what you're selling, relationships. It's really, really powerful energy, especially at the end of the week in business. Now, earlier in the week, it feels much more family-oriented or emotionally driven. Towards the end of the week, it feels more opening and in alignment with work and with your career and what's possible. So I do see a lot of attention in your work, especially towards the last couple of days of the week. But big business, big opportunities, and globally too. So I just feel like, the whole world has just big ideas and information coming that's going to be shared this week. So just notice in the news what's being brought up and what's being shared, but it feels like there's some really revolutionary things that may come in or that may perk your attention that gets you to think about you or your life in a different way that makes a difference too. So it's not only just in your sphere of influence here, but outward. If you're looking and reading at things, you may be pulled into something that's really interesting for you too. All right, so let me see if there's anything else to share with you before we end this. So the temptation is to kind of rush through this energy or to get through it, right? Like, to either fight your way through it or to hurry up and be done with it, right? Both energies aren't really going to give you the juice that you really want. So resist the temptation to kind of like have to fight against this energy. So going slow, having patience, being able to receive and let it go through you instead of blocking it, is a good way to do it. And then not rushing, right? So, because this energy wants to push you, you just want to be in the flow with it, right? So you want to just allow yourself to be carried. So it's that little fine line. Just play with the energy. Some days we're going to feel like we did it right, and other days we're going to feel like, oh my God, I'm drowning. I need some help. So it's just one of those weeks, but it's a really exciting time. It's a great energy. I really feel uplifted by it. It feels opportunistic. It feels like we can learn a lot about ourselves and about energy and about being able to notice our energy and to feel the feelings and to not be afraid of the feelings that are coming up. and to know when to share them and when to redirect them. So it's a big energetic week. It's an emotional week. I'm not saying don't feel what you're feeling, but I'm saying there's a time when it's important to share it and when it's not. So if you've got a lot of pent up anger that's coming up or frustration, excuse yourself, go in the other room, do a little dance, let it out, then stop, and then walk back in the room with a smile on your face, right? There are ways that we can handle our energy and our emotion, people, without, throwing up on everybody else, right? So it's about managing your own energy, receiving what's great out there and contributing to it. We are all contributing, parties to what's going to happen this week. So managing your own energy is key to how you're seen and how people receive you and whether or not they want to be around you. So make this a great week by managing your own energy, staying in the flow, enjoying it, having fun, seeing the best of both worlds, right? Always looking for the good, and whatever's going on, accept it. And then keep seeing and looking for the light. All right, guys, have an amazing week. Enjoy the lunar eclipse tonight. I hope you're hearing this before tomorrow so that you have a chance to do that. If not, don't worry about it. You're still going to get the energy. Anyway, have a fabulous week, everybody. I look forward to hearing your comments and to connecting with you, and I'll see you again next week.